lot of DarkBlues able to adapt. He definitely has a way of playing that works out well for him. But Ralphie just has had results recently. And I say Ralphie based on history, but at the same time, I'm hesitant to call it that just because of the fact that I know that Ralphie's been struggling with his mentality. He did very poorly, you know, for himself. He did very poorly at Overclocked. And that effect, you can tell it affected him. And he's already in losers. He wanted to win this event. If DarkBlues gets some momentum, it can really run away from him. I think that's... But I still feel like if Ralphie is in control, if he manages to stay on top of it, he can close out the set.
So just to clarify for the viewers at home, the Cloud with the longer sleeve, the Advent Children costume, that is Ralphie, whereas the more blue sleeveless Cloud, that is DarkBlues. So try to keep tabs on that as they move forward, and they're going to be moving forward a lot. Plenty of movement going down on this stage. Especially both with Limit, too. Like, they take advantage of each other pretty heavily. I've always said this about Cloud in the Ditto, in that Cloud has the perfect tools to take advantage of Cloud. Kind of like what we were building up in the previous set, where Diddy Kong has all the tools that he needs to deal with Diddy Kong. He's not going to be as suppressed as badly by his own tools. Cloud is very much in the same boat.
Well, one of the interesting things about the Cloud Ditto is that, although that's true, Cloud cannot really edge guard the same way. Instead, it's about the ledge trapping, and there Ralphie taking the first stock. You see what we were talking about in terms of he just hits Cloud in disadvantage and keeps him there. Shuffles him at the ledge, juggles him, puts him to the other ledge. And DarkBlues is going to have to change up his disadvantage state. He needs to get out of these bad situations, and he needs to close out the stock first thing.
It's also worth noting that Cloud himself, you know, despite what you believe has kind of poor landing options, Cloud can of course come down with his Dare, and his Dare is incredibly potent. But in reference to fighting Cloud, up air's just better, baby.
I think that when Cloud tries to mix up, when Cloud is really trying to play around it, he actually has amazing landing options. He has a stall with side B. He does have the hitbox of down air. He has great aerial drift, especially with Limit. He can land with back air. It's just nobody has fun landing on top of Cloud. Cloud in general, though, has a very solid disadvantage state. And that's it. This is what I was.
He flew directly into that. My man's actually leaped immediately into that.
And you can see the frustration on Ralphie's face. Already he's shaking his head. I might have to retract my previous statement. He was going to take this. I still believe that
the
Ralphie...
die is cast. You put your chips on Ralphie.
No, I honestly...
Arbitrarily, I am rooting for DarkBlues, even though I'm kind of indifferent. I would be fine with seeing both these boys go far, but this is losers bracket. Someone's got to die. And we're doing it on Town and City. Nope, back on Smashville. I lied to you. I always found it humorous how Clouds will charge to like a little bit and then start a battle. They'll never do the full limit charge.
Oh, look at all of this damage, but I don't know how much damage really matters in the end because Ralphie had a huge lead last time around. Okay, cool. The huge lead last time around, but he wasn't able to close it out, and Cloud having those crazy strong comeback potential, it's just difficult to make sure that your mentality is on point the entire time.
All right. That down smash, though, would have been a clean call out, but amazing micro-spacing from DarkBlues is going to keep him in it. And solid recovery is going to bring him back even without limit.
I think that also speaks to the spacing potential of Cloud's back air, that even if you micro-space around it, you still can't punish it.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. This character got kind of nice aerials. But, I mean, hey, listen, Cloud's falling just as victim to Cloud's own tools. It's worth noting how close Game 1 was, and honestly, I feel like Game 2 can fall into the same way, especially if DarkBlues manages to pick up the pace.
Pick up the pace, interestingly enough, is basically winning neutral. You see how hard these guys punish each other for a single hit, but in general, it seems like Ralphie is more devastating off of a love tap, whereas DarkBlues, when he gets some combo starter, like, you know, an up air or, you know, really up air.
Listen, up air's easily one of the top 5 up airs in the game. I would say it's like the best, but really there are some really good up airs. There are some, as they say, nice
Zelda
up airs. No, that's definitely not one of them.
Woo! That's it. Yeah.
All right, so looking back in the game.
That's so smart from Ralphie also. If you notice, he was going off stage quite a bit, but there's like low commitment going off stage, like throwing off an air and then jumping back, especially when he had a limit. And at the end there, he had limit, but he did not jump off stage, but it did force the low recovery. You know, that DarkBlues was like, oh, I don't want to go too high. You know, he's able to cover those high options. And with no limit, that means that Blade Beam just catches him to hook the game. Boom.
Battlefield is going to be the setting for Game 3. Really solid option from DarkBlues, given his style of play is already not as conventional to most clouds. But if he gives himself the type of space that he needs to more facilitate the juggle-heavy cloud play, like this is the way he's got to go. Because now he's taking the aspects of Ralphie's strength that are very strong, he's amplifying them, but now he's taking some of that upon himself, while also having his own flair on cloud.
Oh, Ralphie just... This is actually interesting. He's doing this pressure game that we didn't see before. Earlier it was, you know, Olemi put him in juggles, but now that DarkBlues has forced him to shield, he's catching him on these out-of-shield options. A whiff limit both ways around. That move is too good.
This is actually like Barnum and Bailey's style circusry in front of us.
Ralphie off stage. And not only that, but you notice that a single forward tilt like that not only puts Ralphie at the ledge, but also gives DarkBlues a huge amount of limit charge.
Oh, what are they doing? Why are they doing it? It was incredibly risky for Ralphie. He managed to come out on top because of it. And with dead even percentages, it really wasn't that bad of a situation, but it left him incredibly open to DarkBlues, causing some sort of a reversal. And right now, DarkBlues sitting in stage control. Limit right in the nick of time. He's getting himself back up, and he's going to be falling right into the Blade Beam. And just like that, DarkBlues is going to take command of the game.
What?
Why? Are you an idiot? But like, what, bro? All right.
That was the slickest movement I've ever seen.
I've never seen someone style on someone so hard with their life.
No, that was, I just want to point out that movement was so slick and so poorly timed. Like, he goes to the slow run. That was like melee moonwalking on his shield, and Ralphie's just like,
he just decided to run into him. Like, Ralphie's having absolutely none of this right now, so I don't know why DarkBlues is going to taunt him.
I don't know.
DarkBlues is making it look good, though. He's definitely coming out on top after that performance.
So Ralphie, as you've seen, when DarkBlues gets momentum, it's really hard for Ralphie to take it back. But I feel like if Ralphie, all Ralphie needs to do...
It's mostly because he jumps into ground slashes.
That's happened to him twice now. But
he's getting too antsy for his jump ins.
If Ralphie gets a single comeback, it'll be huge for him. You know, DarkBlues, when he's in control, he stayed in control.
It's even better the second time. It's such a heavy gamble. Like, DarkBlues felt so confident that he was able to just throw a stock away at that percentage.
I don't think he was. I think he was actually trying to mix him up. He goes for a slow one and then rolled back. But like, cloud forward smash covers all of that.
Yeah. It's a long sword, in case you haven't noticed. It's kind of big. And with that, Game 4 is bringing us the Smash Fill. This time DarkBlues not even attempting to charge for it. He's going to put a click on, and that's about it.
I believe DarkBlues won Game 1 on this stage. So we'll see if Ralphie made some adjustments. Great use of the platform there. Oh, boy!
Oh, that was gross. Ralphie going to get his limit for free because of that.
Oh, just barely air dodging through, but that's still 113%. Ralphie, he just wants to take this to Game 5. Like, I don't want to bother with Game 4.
He's looking to take himself to grands. This boy is not content with losing stocks or games, let alone sets to DarkBlues. You know he's out for blood.
Oh, great use of the neutral air. You know, we were talking about how that down air might be a good landing option in other matchups, but in this one, you see that Cloud is able to space around it so well. Ooh, look at this, even more damage following through, and now DarkBlues at the ledge. He's been taking so much damage. That just, okay, good job dropping shield.
I like how Ralphie's been conditioning DarkBlues through use of regular Blade Beam for ledge coverage. Now I say conditioning because very typical of Ralphie's play, he'll use down tilt to cover options. And down tilt, if timed properly, can pop up into an excellent ledge position for Ralphie, which we've yet to see from him in this entire set. Saving that ace is going to be pivotal to winning the set if possible as we go to a game 5.
And I want to point out, that was actually untechable. There's a mechanic involving Cloud's up B in which, while he's on the way up, I believe, or it's near the peak of the move, he actually cannot tech. Unless he gets the untechable spin because Smash 4, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a 12 to 16 frame window if I remember correctly. I don't know if that's changed since the last time I looked at those numbers, but it's fairly precise.
Yeah, it's fairly precise, but I feel like that's what that was. Ralphie definitely going for it when it's... I feel like he would not go for something that risky if he wasn't sure that it was going to work, even if he has the stock lead. And now we have game 5. Ralphie, we'll see if my prediction rings true. I know that he does not want to lose, and that last game gave him so much momentum, so much power. But DarkBlues, they've been trading off, and we'll see if that, you know, handing back and forth will just work out for DarkBlues, because this is game 5. There's no more room for error.
I'm trying to read the tech option. This is now the second or third time that DarkBlues has opted to tech towards the ledge. I don't know if Ralphie's picked up on this habit yet, but it's allowing DarkBlues to safely get out of these tech read situations. And I feel like time's starting to run out for those little instances of control to be slipping away from Ralphie.
He has no jump. And he has limit. He should be able to make this back. Unless DarkBlues will contest. He does with a dash attack.
It's going to be very difficult to come back from this. He's going to opt for a very aggressive recovery, and he's going to pay the price for it. DarkBlues taking the first stock from Ralphie with only 77 built up on top of him.
And this is where that sort of, it can really, really hurt him. Oh, never mind.
That man's got gorgeous. Charles Barkley up in this.
And that's the sort of thing where now I feel like Ralphie might actually be in control, because that was the comeback I think he was looking for this entire time, where he was, if he was down, he stayed down. If he was up, he stayed up. But now he's turned those tables around. 71% on DarkBlues. Good adaptation to get away from the Blade Beam, but whoop.
He can't find himself in these ledge situations against DarkBlues. He really needs to maintain control, especially with limit. DarkBlues can pull something cheeky out very quickly.
These percents are so close, but DarkBlues is the one with limit.
Pressure's building up on both of these players, though. DarkBlues, I think, needs to pull the trigger and get this stock out of here quickly.
That was
he's
so
going to have an
smart.
early release.
Did you see he went for the down air, but specifically aimed for the platform in order to bait out DarkBlues' limit? Oh no, and he burned the clean. Oh, he has 116%. We are in the last hit situation, and still Ralphie without a jump. He makes it back to ledge, but being stuck on ledge is not a great position.
Going down to 139%. He's going to make himself back to stage, but then up air from DarkBlues is going to be sending him forward. He will be moving on into the loser's bracket. That is the end of the run for Ralphie.
Oh, there were a couple things in that set. You could tell that Ralphie, he had that lead. He was playing so smartly, got that beautiful comeback. But I feel like for me, what killed him was the Blade Beam, the accidental Blade Beam.
Yeah, that was...
When he was already struggling so much, and then he can beat himself up about it. And as soon as that happened, he just didn't make it back to neutral after that.